Well, it's 7 o'clock. We'll call the meeting to order. This is the regular meeting of Council, Municipality of Swan Valley West, held in Council Chambers at 216 Main Street, Swan River, Manitoba, this 28th day of July 2026 at 7 p.m. Present this evening, Reeve Gade, Councillors RJ McGregor, Carrie, Blosha, Terry Neely, Brian Burick, Byron, Zbirun, and Brad Kushniryk. CAO Kristi Ronnquist is here. Our videographer Jeremy Bergen is here. We also have one guest so far in the gallery. We'll start into the meeting at number 2, adopting the agenda. Be it resolved, the agenda for the regular meeting of Council held this 28th day of July 2026 shall be adopted as presented. Who would like to move the resolution? Councillor McGregor and Councillor Neely to second. Any additions or changes to the agenda? Hearing none, we'll call the question. Those in favour? That is carried. To number 3 we go. Be resolved the minutes of the regular council meeting and public hearing held July 14th, 2026 be adopted as presented. Moved by Councillor Blosha. Who would like to second? Councillor Zbirun. Copy of both sets of minutes are attached. Has everyone had a chance to review them? Were there any errors or omissions found? Hearing none, we'll call the question. Those in favour? That too is carried. Number 4, Public Works Report. So we couldn't arrange to have Derek here tonight, but we did spend an hour and a half with him yesterday at the end of the day, ferreting out a Public Works Report. So I'll give you most of this. There's a couple items in here we'll have to go in camera. We start out with discussing the landfill. So we are running an ad for a landfill attendant. That will be in the paper that came out this afternoon or tomorrow morning, whenever it comes into mailboxes. We do have one other employee still on staff that has certification for the landfill that's valid till the end of December. We talked about moving the building there to the correct place and getting the quotes to put the electricity to it because it's again going to get cold soon and that needs to be finished off. We talked about the pit that Benito Meats uses. It's full. A new one needs to be dug, so there's plans to be made to go up there and dig it. The tires need to be removed, so we're going to check in with them. They usually come once a year to get them, but it's time for them to go. There's going to be quite a pile. The steel also needs to be pushed back, so likely when they're up there digging the pit, they'll do the steel and move the building. We talked about the furniture and mattresses there, and discussed that despite our best efforts, it appears that some furniture and mattresses from the flood have made their way to the Benito landfill. And the only thing we could possibly see to do with those is load them in a truck and take them to the Swan River landfill where the flood debris is supposed to go. So we're going to have a contractor do that as part of our DFA expense and move that furniture and mattress issue that got there that shouldn't have off to Swan River. We talked about Benito and the splash park, about getting the security cameras installed because they're still not done yet. To do that we need to put up a little wood pole, probably a 14-footer, just so it's high enough you can't reach the cameras unless you bring a ladder with you. Probably put Wi-Fi in at the same time, so there's a lot of families there that are kind of sitting around and can't get cell phone service. So with the Wi-Fi, they can at least make calls if they need to, if something happens. Talk about the garbage cans. 2 of them have got moved to the picnic or to the splash park. There's 2 more to come. They'll be arriving shortly. They're just little cheapies with a sandbag in the bottom, but it's better than having garbage all over. The wheelchair picnic table, for whatever reason, was installed in the wrong place. It's wheelchair accessible. It's a requirement of one of the grants for the splash park, but it was installed against a tree. So if you can imagine, a wheelchair picnic table has 3 spots you can sit at and 1 you can't. So they installed the one you can't touching the tree. So we did attempt to fix that once already, but I guess wires got crossed and it only actually got moved out 3 feet from the tree. So you can't really get a wheelchair in there. But it's going to get moved to the right location now. 3rd time's the charm.
Cut the tree down.
Yeah.
Don't give anybody ideas.
How hard is that?
Hose reel is being installed on the side of the box there so the hose can be coiled up instead of left in the dirt. We talked about doing roundup on the stones around the skate park and the sign with particular attention to not spray the flowers with Roundup. The toilet paper and hand sanitizer at the little washroom thing there, a brand new toilet paper holder and brand new hand sanitizer machine have arrived and are being installed. So there will be a roll of toilet paper that can't be stolen in an attempt at keeping some toilet paper there. Checking the holding tank, we talked a little bit about grass seeding for the black area that needs some grass around Splash Park. We talked about outside that metal cabinet, there's a green box in the ground that has the meter in it, but the box isn't quite big enough to cover the shutoff valves too. So we talked about a solution for that, either a bigger box or just sloping it up and putting some crushed rock in there. Because if you fill it to level, then you're having to bend down on your knees and reach down underground to get to the valves. So it might be better just to flatten it out with crushed rock, but there's supposed to be some sort of figuring for that. We were making sure that the road cuts in Benito got site numbers on the flood, so the DFA would be paying for the fixing of the pavement that was wrecked there. We talked about the playground fence needing to be fixed. The office needs to be painted. The windowsills now have no paint on them at all. They're down to wood, so that needs to get done this summer. Talked about fireworks coming to Benito on the 15th of August, making sure the disc golf course is mowed and ready to go so people can go out there. And we did strips for the fireworks to be put in, but they'll have to dig them another time now because they've probably grown in. We talked a lot about weeds in Benito. In Durban, we talked about the 108-foot culvert. If you've been there lately, that area that is basically north of the rink there, filled in with water this year and wouldn't drain. So the culvert collapsed that drains that water, and it runs from that batch of lots under the ground by Jim Kustra's shop there, and comes out the other side, and that all collapsed. So they've dug it out to see it, and they're working on getting a new culvert to replace the whole thing so the water drains again.
It's right across from the post office, pretty much.
Yeah.
And it was like a lake.
Yeah, turned into a lake.
North side of the post or
East of the post office.
east of the post office.
Yeah. Yeah, it was like a lake.
There's nothing on the
And
north.
that's the first time we had ever seen water there.
Yeah, because your one just runs away.
Yeah.
In Kendall, we talked about the playground, the weeds and such, dealing with those. We spoke a bit about the one grader operator. He has come back now. He came back yesterday and joined us. We talked about some goal setting there of removing 1 mile of crown and secondary ditch a day, in addition to the normal grading duties. We talked about mowing ditches. So far as yet, Swan Valley West has accomplished almost 8 hours of mowing ditches. In that 8 hours, the mower got broken 4 times. I have given direction that employee is not allowed to use the mower again. We'll try somebody else on the mower, because that just isn't, that's not sustainable. It cost us 2 windows in that 8 hours, plus damage to the mower. So we'll try something else and see how it goes. Talked about Benito's Canada Day coming up, having the new flags on the office to replace the ripped one. We talked about the repairs at the water plant. We're waiting on a date now. The supplies have all arrived. We just need the contractor to come out and dig the tank out and hop in the hole. Talked about the lagoon. That has been closed. They're opening the interconnect. And we talked some about the bridge out signs that we're working on. It may not be a surprise, but there's no culverts and no signs and no anything else anywhere in stock in Western Canada right now because everybody used everything. We do have delineators showing up this week finally, so we'll have some posts again. But the bridge out signs, I think we have 2 out of all the ones we need now. So we're going to go to the bridge that's the most dangerous and build the barricades across it with a bridge out sign. The goal is to go to the closest intersection and mark it there. Bridge out and no through road, and then right at the bridge limit the access so everybody can still come down and get to all the farmland along the way, just not go across the bridge.
That big Bateman Bridge?
Yes.
Yeah, that's the one that got closed.
The other ones are pretty hard for people to cross anyway. But the Bateman one is the one that's dangerous just because you can get across if you move barricades.
It was, like I drove by there yesterday, it was barricaded still, made sure to check. We just drive down there to check because it's dangerous.
Yeah.
And people are moving it to the side.
That was an hour and a half of discussion between Kristi and Derek and I, summed into those notes. Certainly we didn't get through everything, but that's the stuff we talked about yesterday.
Question. The window's broken, that's on a tractor?
Is
No, remember with the disc, and I said the grader's gotta bring that up because they're gonna have a hard time mowing. Is this the problem? Or is there just too much gravel and still the grader operators haven't been drawing up the gravel from the ditches and putting it on the roads that there's so much gravel in the ditch that the
One of the 2 windows was a stick.
okay.
The other one I think was a rock. And they had got the John Deere tractor ready for that mower and all protected and good to go. But because the John Deere tractor is broken, they put it on the New Holland. and they hadn't done the same thing to the window there yet, and then promptly found out they should have done the same thing to the window.
So like a branch hit it or what?
I think the skylight or something was a branch. The higher window was a branch, and the lower one was a rock.
Right.
You said stick and stone.
Stick for the one, stone for the other.
So the Ford had no, or the New Holland had no protection then on the, no
Apparently
shield?
not, no.
No shield. Must be cutting pretty low, they need to hit rocks like that, I mean, it's, or dragging.
There's a lot of gravel in it.
There must be lots of gravel on those roads.
Yeah, some of the other problems out there was the mower got ripped off the tractor twice for hitting the ground so hard.
Yeah.
So it could have been we were kind of a little low.
Yeah. Huh. Okay.
Yeah.
How about, I was gonna ask you, did you make any comment on 911 signs? How's that come on? Are they almost complete or lots to go yet? Or
Closer than they were, would we be 50%, 75%?
I'd say we're probably 50% or more.
50%, so they won't be done this fall then probably?
Still the goal of having them done, but we had a crew out doing them, but then we also needed to map all the flood sites, so we took them off of that to flood sites to get them all mapped. But hopefully we'll get them done. The goal is certainly to have them finished this year, but we're kind of running low on,
Manpower,
yeah.
yeah.
You talk about barricading these bridges. Any comment on Lavender Bridge?
Do you mean the Bozeman River culverts?
Bozeman River culverts, yeah.
So I understood from the lead hand, you had several conversations with him about that recently.
I asked him when it's gonna be done,
Okay.
and he told me for about the last month until the water goes down. The water is down.
We discussed a little bit yesterday, and he was talking about getting part numbers off the culverts because they need a piece for the culvert to match the other one. Because most of it's okay, but they need a new end. And the culvert people are wanting to know exactly what's there so they get us the matching piece.
So that's not done yet?
From what I understood, it wasn't. No.
So how long will that take?
Right now, the culverts we've had on order for several weeks will be the end of August at the earliest. So if we had that part number today, we're probably a 2-month delay now before they can make a culvert for it.
So it won't be done for harvest then?
Don't know. Not looking good. Like we've got every 6-foot culvert we need is currently back ordered. We also can't get any other culvert now, they're all gone in Western Canada. We did get some before everybody ran out, but now they all have to be manufactured and we're in the queue. So we ran through everybody's stock already.
I guess there's nothing doing temporary, eh? Because you're just gonna double the job then.
Worst case, you might just have to just let it wash out again. I think it's assigned a site number, I haven't heard how
Oh,
the
there is a site
inspection
number
went.
here.
So I haven't yet heard how the inspection went for it.
There is a 178. And then he's got here revisit by another engineer, data collected, whatever that means.
So that means the engineer he was with is a road engineer,
Okay.
and that site's now due for a bridge engineer. So the road engineer is not qualified for that site.
So do you have to wait on another engineer to come ahead?
There'll be a day or two, there'll be a bridge engineer back.
Okay.
We had a bridge engineer last week for a day or two, and right now we've had a road engineer. But when they went to that site, the road engineer determined it wasn't a road engineering problem, it was a bridge engineering problem.
So then what's my best explanation when somebody asks me when it's gonna be done?
No date yet.
2 months?
I don't know.
Waiting
If-
for parts.
If
Waiting for
DFA
part
comes
culverts.
back and says that that has to be ripped out and turned into a bridge, a year.
Oh, bridge, well, that could be next year, 2
Well,
years.
I guarantee it will not be this
Next year, 2 years or
Because
whatever.
we will be lucky to get 2 or 3 bridges done before freeze.
Yeah, exactly.
We probably won't get 3. We might get 2 bridges in. I don't know. We should have, when the bridge engineer comes out, I'm sure they will send it for an inspection report, which will get us, I don't know if you saw on the agenda, those inspection reports we started from, we'll get one of those for that crossing that speaks to how to fix it appropriately. If we don't, if they don't do anything, we've been trying to get a little piece of culvert all spring, and that hasn't worked out. But once they do the engineering on it, they may have a different solution for it. That involves wholesale removal and replacement with something else. Which wouldn't necessarily be a bad thing because then it'll be properly engineered instead of just shoved back together and failing
Maybe
again
they
next
just
year.
put bigger culverts in.
Culverts, or maybe one of those things that looks like this across the top.
Okay. So you're saying that this bridge engineer is coming anytime?
Soon. Like we had a bridge engineer last week, looked at some of the bridges,
Okay.
and then we traded them out for a road engineer to do a bunch of the roads. And now some of the sites have been determined that a road engineer is not qualified. So essentially what I'm saying is a road engineer is qualified to put a culvert in. And the road engineer determined he was not qualified to determine how to fix that crossing. That a bridge engineer needed to come and look at it. And once both have looked at it, they're going to have a conversation about, is this a culvert road engineering problem? Or is this a bridge problem?
Apparently at one time there was, all along that Bozeman River, there was bridges.
Yep.
Every site had a bridge. And then they thought they'd take the bridges out and put big culverts in instead.
And that was done a lot of places, like down south.
Yeah.
There's lots of places. Palmer's Crossing, that's all washed out, that was originally a bridge too. And where DFA is kind of going is that they will not put something back they think is going to wash out again in a year or two. They're done with that.
And then about this site at Lavender, why, I don't know, whether the road's not high enough or what, but every other crossing on the Bozeman River's got a big culvert, one big one. This one's got two smaller ones. So I don't know, maybe the road wasn't high enough, that they had to put two smaller ones, because one big one you put a hump on the road, didn't it?
Could be,
I don't know, but every other crossing has one big pipe. But this one always had two, and then you get logs jamming in the spring, and then water can't flow, and,
one of the big things now is debris flow.
yeah.
Making sure that whatever's built, debris can flow
Yeah.
through it or under it
Yeah.
without stopping it.
Well, the way it is previously, and if you still put two pipes in, it's still gonna be blocking, still. You get a 3 crossways and you're done.
I don't speak for the engineers and we don't have the report yet, but my suspicion is they will find it impossible to clear the debris with 2 culverts. And they may find it impossible to clear the debris with a single culvert. Palmer's spot, I don't think that report showed up this afternoon. We're supposed to be another report here today for the Palmer crossing. And the thought process there is that there's no way with a culvert to protect that from washing out again. So the only other solution is to build the other thing.
So if a bridge does go in there, is that DFA?
As it sits right now, if they recommend that it has to be a different size culvert or a different size bridge and we refuse to take it, that site is no longer covered. We can fix it smaller this time and they'll pay for the smaller repair, but for the next several hundred years, that site will never be covered again if there's another disaster. So you better be really sure about putting something in they don't recommend, because then they don't cover it again. And you end up paying for whatever the next solution is yourself. Anything else on public works tonight? Let's go to financial items. 8.1 General Cheques. Be resolved, the Council of the Municipality of Swan Valley West hereby approves the following payments. General Cheques number 21468 excluding check number 21474, the amount of $918.12 for a total of $794,992.69. And pre-authorized debit number 2026-043 to 2026-207, the amount of $6,774.32 for a grand total of $802,069.54. Who would like to move the resolution? Councillor Burick, and someone to second the resolution. Councillor Neely. I have a copy of most of those checks. It's a very heavy pile of checks for the amount of money. Who has questions?
No.
Go ahead.
21475, 21476.
Okay, let's start with 7.5. So those are progress payments. Those are both progress payments, I think, aren't they? Yes.
I just,
For fire hall. So one upon site access and preliminary grading, one upon footing and wall completion. So we're running the checks through now. The wall we think will be done the next day or two.
didn't look like today. Anyway, I was just seeing, because I was like, wall, we're paying for a wall and stuff, but,
It's the white styrofoam wall.
oh, okay, okay.
It's the, there's
Yeah.
pictures in here that
I
boring
see
it.
that,
I
yeah.
haven't gone to check it, but we were gonna run the checks through and then go to the site and make sure the stuff was done before we hand them over.
And then 21503, please. Or no, 21503.
503, John Pasternak. What damage road repairs?
Contract.
Trunk and triaxle belly dump for flood repairs, both the same, different dates. One's for July 22nd, and one's for it's the 8th through the 21st.
21519.
Injector kits ×2 dosing rebuild kit. This is our chlorine injectors, right? Yeah.
But where is that even? Like, that's not-
Pittsburgh Mechanical
It's
is in
a-
Edmonton.
Yeah,
okay, so they were sent away. Because I'm like, that is not a local name. Is that even a real name?
Yeah, well, it's,
Switch.
Yeah, Twitch.
it is,
it's an Ontario company, but
Okay.
this fella's in Edmonton, so we went there.
this is all just into a lump quote. It's 2 injector kits and a dosing rebuild kit. So the dosing is the chlorine pump that pumps all the time. And the injector is the part that lets it go in without the water coming out.
Okay.
We did try a cheaper one about 6 months ago. Found out you need to pay the money for the real one. Because it went really badly with the cheaper one.
No, that's good for me, thanks.
Who else has questions?
Oh, come on, people.
Oh, you ask them all the time. We know you're on it.
Going once, going twice. Alright, hearing nothing further, we'll call the question on that resolution. Those in favor? That's carried. For 8.2, you've probably noticed already the list. I have a conflict for that particular resolution, so who would like, Deputy Reeve,
I
wish
guess
to
so.
chair, or do
I
you want to
guess
have somebody else do it?
I guess so. No.
Alright, your meeting for a bit.
I don't know how to use this computer though, man.
Don't touch it.
Where's the
What number are we on?
8-2. You might have to refresh.
I refreshed, I got nothing. It just stays, eight Tuesdays is General Cheques.
What is that for?
It's just because the 83 North paid postage on
Is that just a one check? Is that just a one check?
Yeah.
Okay,
the
what's it?
Canada Day.
Canada Day flyers.
Oh,
I believe when I looked it up, that's what it was.
They just have no heading on it, you just gotta click it. That's all it is that.
Yeah. that's all.
Attachment.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, we have resolution item 8.2. What's the resolution? Okay, be it resolved, Council of Municipality of Swan West hereby approves the following payment. General check number 21474 in the amount of $918.12. Somebody move it.
Any idea what it's for?
Pardon me?
It's, what is it for? It says 3 payment to bill for something.
Postage for the
Sweet.
Canada Day flyers.
Does it
Yes,
say?
that's
Does
right.
it say?
Um,
Because
I'm
it uses
looking.
his account to do
Does it
that.
say here?
Yeah, it says it in the general checks.
That's right.
When I looked over the general checks today, that's what it said. It was postage for the Canada Day flyers.
Canada Day Fire?
Flyers.
Flyers? Okay, well, he probably made several thousand. Okay, do we have a mover? Okay, how do I get this in here? Carrie. Yeah, right here. Carrie. Perfect, man, this thing's high tech. Okay, seconded by? Brad? Okay, any discussion? I'll call the question, all in favor? Opposed, it's none, so I put. Okay, record, carry. Do I have to put anything that he left? You're doing that, okay, motion? Man, this thing is really,
Literally.
how come he's got a better computer than I do?
Yeah, exactly. We can definitely say that. Oh, darn it.
Bill, you can come in now. Oh, there he is. It was nice to sit in that chair for a while.
You can do
Yeah,
it.
I just didn't know how to
Yes,
use that computer, that's too high tech.
But don't get too comfortable.
Don't get too comfortable, it's a high tech computer. It's not simple like these ones.
8.3, payroll checks. Be it resolved, the Council, Municipality of Swan West hereby approves the following payments. Payroll payments number 1275 to 1292 in the amount of $35,452.03. Is there someone to move the resolution? I see Councillor Blosha and Councillor McGregor. Copy of the summary is attached. Any discussion? Hearing nothing, we'll call the question. Those in favor? That is carried. There was a question prior to the meeting about one of those that not everyone heard the answer to. The question was, why is the summer student higher than some of the others? The answer is because there's no deductions, because they're all only working for the summer. So instead of having a bunch of income tax and stuff taken off, they're choosing not to, because the whole summer wages won't be enough to get them into income tax. 8.4, budgetary control. There's two things attached here. One's the normal budget document you're used to seeing. The other one is a special one for the flood. So to the end of the check run we've looked at today, we have spent $923,240.36 on flood repairs and supplies so far. That number obviously continues to rise as things get transferred into it and new bills keep coming in. We've received $500,000 to date from the provincial government. We will be making a request, I believe early next week or so, yes, for a further advance. The advance rules from the province are that we cannot receive an advance unless we have estimates completed for how much we'll need. The first $500,000 was a special advance that Wob promised everybody, so we got it early. We have now, as you've seen, completed estimates for the first 4 of the bridges. We can now apply for 60% of those estimates, which will total $11 million. That application will go in shortly, and we will expect the province to send the $11 million check to us. Obviously, we'll have to spend that on the bridges eventually, but in the meantime, it will cash flow the rest of the repairs so that we don't run out of money.
And when the other repairs
Come
get
along.
reimbursed for that as time goes on.
Exactly. There's also numerous, we've been out for 5 days now, at those sites with engineers, and so all of those are generating repair estimates as well. They're just not here yet. But there'll be a repair estimate now for every single flood site shortly. We'll get 60%
That's in
of all
addition
of
to
it.
the bridges that they did,
Right.
there's other sites you've been visiting.
No. And I don't know if they're through 100 of them yet, maybe of the 300. They've got a long ways to go. But each site they have to go and take pictures and do the maps and stuff, and if it's really bad damage, they have to do the report. If it's simpler damage, they just estimate on paper.
And you
put a number.
had some pictures right when it happened too, right? You got a file on it with all these pictures.
No. It's nothing if not a lot of paperwork, but
Cool.
that's what we gotta do so they pay the bill. Any questions on either that flood statement or the overall budget statement that's there, just showing what we've spent so far?
I guess my question is, what would your guesstimate be on the total damage, including bridges?
I had started at 12 million after the first flood, thinking that I was somewhere in the ballpark. With the additional damage we've seen, my current guess is it would not surprise me to top 40.
40, wow.
Because the bridges alone are about 23 or 24.
We're 19 on the first 4 bridges.
And
But
plus,
we-
And the most expensive one isn't in that list yet.
plus the full level crossing.
Well, that's
That's-
going to be,
Yeah.
it could be 10. Because it has to be built up so much higher now to meet that new flood
Yeah.
level. There's also been, I don't know if anyone went to see it, but there's a bridge in the north area that appears to have been damaged from excess water. It has this hump thing going on in it.
Oh, it's had that for a while already. That hump wasn't, or no?
Oh. The engineer's out to determine when the hump came.
Oh,
We've assigned the site numbers, they determine the damage.
good, good.
So, yeah, I don't know. And we could end up at 30. The way things have gone in the last couple of days of estimates, it could be 40.
It's just the bridges alone.
Yeah, the bridges are just so expensive.
But we're asking for 60%
Up
advance?
front.
Just
Yeah.
on the bridges.
That's not really, if we're
No.
estimating that, we're not asking enough,
really.
Well, we ask for 60% of what's on the paperwork.
Oh,
so
what's
far.
on the
Yeah.
paper.
So
Yeah,
as
but-
more paperwork
But we're not
comes,
gonna
we'll keep-
lose out on the other stuff that comes in.
No, it's just,
No, it'll trickle.
That's what I mean,
It'll
I'm s-
trickle in as
It's like,
time goes
like,
on.
make sure we,
yeah, no, we're not intending to.
This will
Yeah.
take a couple of years to clear up.
oh, yeah.
You're saying 40,000, no, 40 million, not 40 million estimate. What's the estimate in time? Any idea? What
Couple
there's
years.
3, 4 years, 5 years?
The whole next term is council.
No, but I mean, how,
Typical disaster funding is supposed to be complete within 2 years.
2 years, but it's all
But
over Manitoba,
There's a good chance they'll offer an extension.
extension. Could be 3 year term, or 3 year.
And we need to figure out, and I think we kind of know, but we need to clarify what is our number 1 bridge? What is our number 2 bridge? Where's number 3? So we start doing the most important one first. And the most important one may not be able to be done for a while, so we may have to start with number 2 and go to number 1 when we can get to it.
What is the most important one, this one here?
Absolutely,
Yeah.
no question of that. But we can't even get the engineer under it yet because there's still too much water. And they want to look underneath it before they approve the new bridge.
Because didn't you say last meeting that it could be built by freezing?
If they can get, they have to give us a
Start, they have to
report,
start though, yeah.
and they won't give the report until they can look under it. And the river keeps running. But I think part of the reason it's still going over that bridge, if you look at the levels there, it's failed so badly underneath, the water can't get through under it anymore. You know, there's some going through, but if that bridge was working properly,
Yeah.
it wouldn't be going over the top anymore. So,
I haven't been over it, but is there people crossing it now, or it's totally
only with
blocked?
large equipment.
It's totally,
Some tractors are crossing, but it's not good. You know, the whole one side is off now. So
It's only $1 million machine.
glad it's their $1 million machine, not mine. I don't know if I'd be brave enough to go across it, but. Yeah. Hey, anything else on that flood stuff and money? We'll talk more about the bridges in a little bit. We've got them on the agenda. Let's go to 9-1, offer to purchase. Marty is here tonight. Do you want to speak to this at all?
Yeah, go ahead.
Pretty straightforward. So there's this little chunk of land here, Swan Valley West. So there's a couple theories on this. One theory is that this was where the river was straightened once the wrong piece was bought, but I have also found that it's referred to in some of our records as a gravel pit. So at some point there may have been some gravel there or something, I don't know. But there's this couple acre piece that we own in the middle of the
Many years
field.
ago, I was up there with Ed Hay, and he said this is a gravel pit. Remember I was telling you today, Marty?
Yeah.
It's, but there was really, there's not really much gravel or anything there, as far as I can remember.
We'll bop over some of the discussion in camera, but essentially Marty's looking to purchase that piece to make the quarter whole again.
So when they, at Fox's Bridge, at that bridge there, made a big S and hit the bridge on an angle. So they cut a straightaway so the water hit the bridge straight. And from what my dad tells me, they bought that little chunk of island there, the old riverbed and the new cut bed, but didn't want to deal with waterways, so they paid Archie Nickel 2 acres up on top.
Oh, okay.
So now there's another problem. You guys don't own the land where the riverbed is now, or,
In most places we don't though. It's very rare for us to own a river that
but
size.
if they would have done it back 40-some years ago, you guys would have owned part of that chunk of,
Yeah.
does that make sense?
We own along the Swan River now in newer survey areas, but anything smaller, we generally don't own any of it.
Okay.
It's all owned by the
2.1
landowner.
acres
Yeah.
up on top and sort of gravel pit, bush, hay ground or pasture. So I was hoping to trade you Phil there beside Fox's Bridge with that chunk of land.
And how many acres is it?
2.1.
Oh, okay.
But my concern is someday somebody may offer you a big whack of money for that 2.1 acres when they'll put up a shack or.
Maybe it's worth quite a lot of money.
Not after the flood we've had, no.
But it's up on high ground, like it's,
Yeah. Good housing area then. It's all right.
so, anyway, it's, who knows, I don't know. We'll see if we can
Right.
2.1 acres.
Because it's a negotiation of sellers buy something, it's gonna end up in camera for the discussion, but now you know the background at least from Marty instead of me trying to translate for him. 9.2, conditional use hearing date. Whereas the owners and applicant of Northeast Quarter 223627 West have made application for conditional use to allow the development of an aggregate stockpile area and gravel screening and crushing for commercial use within the agricultural zone AG. Therefore, be it resolved, the Council of the Municipality of Swan Valley West will set a public hearing date for August 11th, 2026 at 7:15 p.m. in order to hear from those who may be opposed to or supportive of the proposed conditional use. Is there someone to move the resolution? Councillor Blosha, who would like to second? Councillor Neely. So the application's there, and so is the map. This is the area immediately north of Cement Works. They don't own it yet. They have a conditional offer to purchase, conditional upon this being approved. If it's approved, they may buy it. If it's not approved, they're not buying it. Obviously, there's residential area close to there. So the office will now be sending out this notice of application, probably to a little wider area than is required, just to make sure it captures the houses around there so there's no surprises to anyone. And we'll kind of see where it goes. It could be a lot of things on that land, but it's pretty close to the airport too. We're pretty close to the lagoon, so I don't know if anyone's really going to want to build a whole bunch of houses there someday, but it wouldn't surprise me if we see some residents concerned about noise or something. But we'll see where it goes and let them all have their say. Any other discussion on that? We're only setting the date tonight. We're not approving the actual thing, so we'll come back here again to hear from people. Call the question. Those in favor? That's carried. 8413, however the number is working tonight. We received a letter from the town of Swan River regarding the purchase of bulk water. So you may recall, we had asked to negotiate a water agreement with them. There was a water agreement negotiated about 4 years ago, right before the last election. The draft agreement was approved by both sides. It was never signed. The agreement said that if it wasn't acted upon within 2 years, it would expire. So we've explored that some with the town. They feel because it was never signed, it also never expired, but it's also not enforced because it wasn't signed. They, at one point, said they had sent it to the Public Utilities Board for approval. But then they pulled back and said they hadn't actually sent it to the Public Utilities Board for approval because they knew we wanted to make changes. So it appears it never went into PUB to be approved or checked for fairness. As council knows, we had spent some time asking them to speak to us about it. It became a shared services topic. We had a meeting about it. Oh, that would be back in December or so. And the town had committed to provide us some information so we could make a proposal. They routinely say they would like us to make a proposal instead of just showing up to negotiate. And we said we'd gladly do that if they gave us some under the hood figures of how they're calculating water rates. They said they would, then nothing came, then they got a list of them, then still nothing came, and now this letter has arrived. So I'll paraphrase here, but the entire letter is attached to the agenda for people to see. They say they've reviewed our correspondence, and essentially that they're not willing to review the agreement, they're not willing to provide any of the information for us to make a proposal, and essentially it is what it is. The agreement as contemplated has us pay the full cost of water, the same as any residential house in Swan River would, plus give them $2.7 million for the privilege of connecting to their system. They point out in this letter that their view is that $2.7 million is owed to them by our residents because their residents have water and have paid for water over the years, and we should give them some of the money back. They've attached a bunch of stuff to the letter. It's all available in the public view for anyone who wants to see it. Their bylaw, their current rates, the agreement as it was proposed, and then much to the back of it, a list of how they calculated $2.7 million, which if you are into numbers and calculations is where the entertainment really begins. So the town, let's fast forward through 20 pages here. The town claims that they have put money into supply and treatment costs. They spent $46,000 on well 3, $309,000 on reservoir expansion, $343,000 on well 4, which might be the one they forgot they had, $3.1 million on the water treatment plant upgrades, which was cost shared with the government specifically to make sure there was water available for our pipeline. $1.2 million on a well control building, that relates to the well they forgot they had. The $68,000 for a generator, $43,000 for monitoring. Natural gas booster pump, that was after they broke their diesel one and went 2 years without being able to fight fires in Swan River without hauling water from Valley Water because the hydrants didn't work. And $395,000 for distribution pumps, for a total of $5.6 million. They then determined that the way to know how much we should pay of that is taking all of the water that's used in the town of Swan River and coming up with that number, and then looking at the agreement to what the maximum amount of water we could pull under the agreement was, which was 49% of the total amount. And so we should pay 49% of the bill. So what water they actually use versus water we don't use but could, because the agreement had in it the maximum capacity of the system and we could draw no more than that, obviously, because there wouldn't be any more water. So then we would pay the 2.778 million based on assuming we took it all, even though we didn't. Our goal had been to connect about 200 houses. They have 1,700 connected to their water system, but they wanted us to pay 49% of the bill. I also provided here just a little note sheet of some numbers to try and show it a little clearer. So Swan River has not set new water rates since an application in 2015. If you read the decision on that application, the Public Utilities Board noticed that the town of Swan River was in non-compliance with the rules regarding deficits to their water utility. They had run a deficit many years and had failed to apply for approval to collect the deficit back from the users. That's continued. In 2023 and 2022, they lost about $180,000 a year on their water system. There's no action been taken yet to collect that. So there's several $100,000 now that the town water users owe that they haven't paid. They charge 48% of their CAO's salary to water users through the rates. So what they're basically claiming to Public Utilities Board is that half of the CAO's time is spent running the water utility, and as such, half of the CAO's salary is put to the utility users. In 2023, that charge was $104,000 charged to the water utility in Swan River. They charge additional time for engineering, which appears to be most of the wages for the town's engineer. In 2023, they charged $86,000 to the water utility for engineer time to look after the utility. They also charge amortization to the people in the town. We do that as well. This is a normal thing. The amortization covers off those capital costs, so it pays that off over time. In 2023, the amortization was about $602,000. Going back to when they set rates, it slowly goes down. So there's a $607,000, $598,000, all the way down to $435,000 one year. So since they last set rates, they have charged their users $4.28 million of the $5.6 million they say was spent on the utility, which they want us to pay half for. So most of it's paid off already. They've refused to provide specific information, but if we look at what they've demanded from us, our rural residents would then pay per year $51,000 of the CAO's salary. They would pay $42,000 of the engineer's salary, and they'd pay $300,000 a year of the capital costs of the utility, in addition to the $2.7 million the town is asking for as a bonus fee for connecting. We don't have actual estimates done, but we did talk to some people that have built water plants. We can assure you that the cost to build a water plant, reservoir, and well is far under $2.7 million. And the operating cost of a plant, if we owned one, would be less than $100,000 a year. I point out in here, it would be absolutely absurd to build a second water plant in Swan River. Everyone knows that's absurd, but when you look at these numbers, it kind of shows you if we can build an entire second plant and run a second plant, clearly something's wrong with the agreement, because it shouldn't be cheaper to do all of that than it is to share the existing plant. Councillor Neely.
When the town did the upgrades of the treatment plant, didn't they get government funding?
Absolutely.
Or half of it at least, or
I
something?
believe it was 2/3.
2/3.
And like he says, that was also,
And that's included in this
Because we were
5.76 million or whatever it is?
I think it's their share is included in that. So I think it was like a $10 million upgrade, and the town's 3 is included, and the other stuff was paid
Oh,
for by
I
the
see,
government.
so this is actual town expenses,
Right.
it's not the, okay. I was just thinking maybe they're not taking off the government grant here somewhere or something. I didn't realize it was up, $10 million.
Yeah, they spent quite a lot.
Okay.
But, you know, assuming we connect 200 people to the system, which was kind of the plan to start with, you know, those 200 people are each paying several $100s a year each of the CAO's salary. Which is why we needed to renegotiate that thing, because it didn't make sense. But the town does not currently seem in the mood.
So say we do build a plant, do we have to build it here?
No, build it anywhere on the aquifer. So we could build it in a more advantageous location where we didn't have to pump so hard. Because when we build here, we pump uphill the whole way. If we go 10 miles out of town and build on the same aquifer, we're pumping downhill.
Like, don't we have a big lake where we're taking water now for by the hydro station there by, and isn't there supposed to be another big lake underground by Harvey Lake?
So I'm no expert in aquifers,
No,
but
me
I found a
neither.
map. And the map appears to show that where we take water from Benito is the same aquifer that Swan River currently takes water for in Swan River, and runs the entire way from Benito to Swan River. There is a little more manganese in it on our end than there is here. Swan River's manganese is running about 0.275, we're routinely running 0.650. So there's slightly more than double, right, in ours. But it's the same water supply and the same limitless water that you pump and pump and pump and it never goes dry. It's a little harder to get to where we are because we're higher up. We dig a few 100 feet down, they only dig 90 feet here. But overall, it's the same water. And so the pipeline had always anticipated taking water from Swan River because the water plant was there and had capacity, building 4 pumping stations to pump it all the way back to Benito. But if you took the water at Benito, you would actually have to do what Dauphin does and build pressure reduction stations, which is just a valve that doesn't take electricity to keep the pressure low enough to not blow houses up by the time you got to Swan River. So there's options. It just, you know my feeling how stupid it is to build another one when there's one sitting there that the government paid for specifically for this project, and then somebody wants to take their water plant and go home.
I can't believe 49% of the wages charged to the utility.
It's 48% of the CAO's wages are
48.
charged, and they want us to pay 49% of those fees. It's maddening. So, any other questions or discussion on that? Nothing will happen until after an election, and certainly whoever the next 2 councils are should take a stab at negotiating an agreement. Because it doesn't seem like we have a willing negotiating partner with this council.
No, no, doesn't.
It's been going on for about 16 years or longer.
What I find sad, because I pay for water in the town, is my water bill could be lower if they sold us some water in Swan Valley West. Because the more water we buy, the less the town people would pay, because they'd be making money off us.
Yeah.
The rates would go down. But not
Yeah,
so
because
much.
I mean, you got your basic cost of running the place.
Mhm. And most of those costs are fixed. You know, you've got to go check the plant every day, you got to do this, you got to do that.
There'd be just maybe pumps and stuff like that that would have to be replaced a little more often, you know. But
Rebuilding berm. So these are a bunch of emails and pictures and such. This is probably all destined for an in-camera discussion tonight. But essentially what the email is suggesting is that Darlene would like a berm rebuilt at her house. The estimated costs of building the berm are about $55,000 plus or minus 15%. She would also like the river moved. The cost of that's about $27,000 plus or minus 15%.
it's a either or, isn't it? One of the two?
I
Or?
thought it was an either or, yeah. When I read it, I thought it was.
The way I read it, it was like, or we could do this.
Yeah.
Something like that.
The berm was there already. So disaster assistance would typically put the berm back if it was on municipal property, which it is not.
Oh, I see.
And so then the personal disaster assistance claim process is very different than the municipal disaster insurance claim, because in the personal claim, because there was not insurance purchased on the berm, it's not qualifying for DFA. So then it has to go to the new program the province made, which qualifies for houses but not for berms. So there's some coverage issues there. Moving the river is a mitigation expense, which DFA does pay for mitigation expenses in certain scenarios. Again, if it was on municipal property, it would be fairly easy to pay for the mitigation, but because it's on private property, it makes it more interesting. The current proposal is that the watershed pay for it all.
Well, they're always 60-40.
Yeah, they're always 60/40.
Well, and so, yeah, we should probably take the rest of it in camera. No. Next one's easy. Rail Safety Week. Whereas Rail Safety Week is to be held across Canada from September 21st to 27th, 2026. Whereas 252 railway crossings and trespassing incidents occurred in Canada in 2025, resulting in 69 avoidable fatalities and 60 avoidable serious injuries. Whereas educating and informing the public about rail safety, reminding the public that railway rights of way are private property, enhancing public awareness of the dangers associated with highway and rail grade crossings, ensuring pedestrians and motorists are looking and listening while near railways and obeying established traffic laws will reduce the number of avoidable fatalities and injuries caused by accidents involving trains and citizens. And whereas Operation Lifesaver is a public-private partnership whose aim is to work with the public, rail industry, governments, police services, media, and others to raise rail safety awareness, whereas CN and Operation Lifesaver have requested the Council of the Municipality of Swan Valley West adopt this resolution in support of its ongoing efforts to raise awareness, save lives, and prevent injuries in our municipality. Therefore, the Municipality of Swan Valley West hereby declares September the 20th to 27th? 21st.
21 to 27.
27th Rail Safety Week in the municipality. There's someone who'd like to move the resolution. Councillor Burick, are you afraid of trains?
Nope.
I'm just checking. Who'd like to second? Councillor Zbirun. He has a train much closer to him. Yes. Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll call the question. Those in favor? That's carried. 8416. I'm thinking something happened to those numbers. They're kind of
Yeah,
nice.
ours are
I got
9/6.
Yeah, I think what's happened is someone, while I was maybe not chairing the meeting, has
Yeah, I think that's what
Clicked on
happened. I
something
told you
and-
not to touch
I
it.
never touched it. I never touched it. I never
next
touched
time I'll
anything.
lock the laptop before you sit
I
in the
told you
chair.
not to touch it.
Okay, we'll fix the numbers up later. LED minutes. So there's a copy of the resolutions. Probably the most interesting stuff is the end where they've got a list of things. Several complaints of sidewalks not usable due to branches overhanging both private and RM property. Extra garbage can would be nice at the park splash park area. Public trash cans are being missed on garbage day, Main Street Park, Skate Park. Residents have been seen emptying them. Weeds need to be sprayed, especially sidewalks around Benito Sign Skate Park. Large branches down at the cemetery. Suggest weekly, monthly, seasonal to-do list to keep everyone on track to let new employees know what needs to be done. Question who will be picking up and hauling flood garbage off front lawns. Once basements are emptied, it is up to the owner. And the playground is seeing much more use now. Sandbox needs to be fixed and needs a new safe slide. I can answer one part of that. Who is picking up the debris that is being left? So there are some contractors now available finally, and they will be picking up some of that debris and hauling it to the landfill as part of our DFA claim. Any discussion on the LED minutes? We have the LED representative sitting here who could probably
So-
share even more details.
What's not safe about the slide? I need to know this.
cracking at the top for quite a while now. The yellow spiral one.
Yeah, well, that one's a fast one, that's what I'm asking.
Yeah. It's just, I think, sun and age, right? It's just age of it.
Yeah, well, that's not a hard piece to order and fix.
I know that my kid fell off it, that was a few years ago.
Well, it's because it's fast too.
Well, they went up to the top and however the railing works, so they tried to get on it, they just fell straight off. That was a trip to the hospital.
Did you
I'm not
fall-
saying my kid was smart, but that's what they did.
Did you manage to be when you were young?
I don't think I went on that slide. I wasn't welcome in Benito because I was from the country.
Yeah. We have rivers.
Anything else, LUBUS, anything you want to share that wasn't written down there?
I think that's most of there.
Okay. Let's go to fire garage update. Copy that's attached. So there's some pretty pictures there. This shows us pictures of a cement pump pumping the cement into that ICF wall. So the way this thing works, you probably remember from all the diagrams, that wall is being built. You'll see all the little bump outs and metal parts. That is now where the steel will be attached in a week or two's time. Once the steel is up and the roof is on and everything, they will pour that floor full of cement inside, so there's no chance of it raining on it. They've also been putting the frost shield in. There's a picture there of the styrofoam, and they're filling that back with cover now. The grade of the building obviously comes up a whole lot closer to the top of that white once this is all done, because you'll drive your truck in there. Any more discussions on the fire garage? Birch River water tanker. Birch River Fire Department has procured a new to them water tanker. Their old one is now available. So you'll see the questions here from their CAO to us. I have had more discussions in this today. So I've spoken to Benito Fire. They like the truck. They point out that the truck was homemade. And there's something about the cab they aren't sure the way it was welded together would pass safety. But it's been passing safety every year from the guy in Birch River that does the safety, who may also be on the fire department. So Benito was nervous about buying it in case someone else starts doing the safety and it doesn't pass. So they came up with this idea of borrowing it for several years, and it going back to Birch River to be safetied every year as part of this borrowing plan. Their CAO doesn't particularly like that plan for some obvious reasons, but does understand the concern about the safety. So they are now going back to their people to discuss if they would guarantee they would keep safety in the truck in Birch River, even if it was purchased by Benito. All of that hasn't gotten to a price yet on what we would pay for this thing. It's 3,500 gallons, so it's lots of water. The new tanker is there already, so they really want this old one out of their haul so they can put the new one in. They do have a spot to keep this until the new garage is done. Mr. Kane is willing to store it in his shop for the summer, early winter, to keep it from freezing. So they're going to see if they're actually going to sell it to us with the safety deal, whatever. I suggested we might have $10,000. I would have to talk to council. So they haven't come up with a number yet, but that's kind of where the bidding started.
What year is it?
I think it's 61, 62, 63, 64.
Like Johnny Cash's car, one piece at a time.
It was assembled from several different things, I understand, because the mechanics that are part of the Birch River Fire Department built this thing out of several pieces. But it's certainly not new. But it runs good and is said to be really happy when they take it to fires. So we'll see where it goes. I have not yet spoken to Benito folks about buying it instead of borrowing it. But you can understand why they're not necessarily wanting to own a fire truck they don't use or touch ever. So we'll see. That'll probably be a few more weeks before we get a good answer on that. But something's up, as they say. We'll see where it goes. Benito lift station. So, good news. Planning finally paid off. We had a failure on one at the lift station. It kicked a breaker at night, ran for the overnight, started kicking the breaker the next day and wouldn't run anymore. So what we've always done until now is call someone in a panic and pay for an emergency call out to the lift station, which is between $3,000 and $5,000 to have them come look at it. But instead, we pulled the pump ourselves. found out it was really broken, and had a spare pump sitting from last time we did this. Up until now, we've never had a spare, but we finally had a spare, so we put the spare in. So now the other one can go for repair on a normal trip without paying the call-out fee, which I was kind of happy about. I did ask them to quote us on a new pump so we can see what a new one is worth if the old one can't be fixed, but we're hoping the old one can just be fixed and then have it as a spare again. So, they ended up a couple hours of overtime by the time they got the pump changed out, but it worked out well.
It wasn't 3,000 bucks.
It wasn't $3,000. And if you go back, it was 2023 we last had a pump fail there. What had always been done until then was they would get an emergency call and they would rent a pump from the company for $50 a day. But it takes a couple months to get your pump fixed. So by the time you've rented a pump for $50 a day for 2 months, you've paid off $3,000 or $4,000. So last time, instead of renting a pump, we bought a new one. Put it in, got the old one fixed, brought the old one back, put it in the shed. So this time we just went and got the one that was already fixed and put it
The
in.
one that is down now was brand new, it's never been
No,
touched before.
this is an older one as well. The brand new one's on the other side.
Oh,
It was pump 2 was new,
Okay.
and the old pump 2 got fixed and is now gone in as pump 1.
well, it doesn't hurt to have another one sitting there,
Well, no,
whether it be brand new
exactly.
or.
It's the same
repaired.
company that's coming to fix the water plant, so we've told them they need to haul it home with them when they come for the water plant, so that we don't have to pay an extra trip of mileage to have them take it. So, trying to be reasonable on the mileage as much as we can, because it's not cheap when they come. Anything else lift station wise? Let's talk bridge inspections. So, let me get my little
I got through one, then I played out.
I got through 2.
So certainly there's a lot of stuff in
Hasn't
here.
been any better.
Much of it is the same from one report to the next. But the important parts are Bateman Bridge, which is Road 204, correction line. That's the bridge that has it looks good from the top, not so good underneath. So the way this works is they provide us an estimate of what they think it will cost to fix it. If we can find someone to fix the bridge for this amount or less, they pay the full amount, whatever it costs to fix it. If they can fix it for half of this, they only pay the half of it. We lose the other half of the money. We only get whatever it costs. But they have said it requires a new bridge to be installed. So we can spend up to that much.
I don't
less.
understand, the Bateman Bridge is a bigger bridge than the Whitmire Bridge, yet the costs are a quarter of what the Bateman Bridge is. Or what, the Bateman Bridge is estimated a quarter of the cost of the Whitmire Bridge. That makes no sense to me.
So the Whitmire Bridge is claimed to be 36 meters long, 8.4 meters wide.
Yeah.
That's a
Bateman
CN
Bridge is
bridge?
claimed to be,
That's a CN bridge?
yes, 24 meters long and only 7.2 meters wide.
Like, but looking at them, don't you think that it's,
Well, I haven't run the calculator on it, but let's do that. Because it seemed like a huge difference between the two of them.
well, I know, and I just see a
They're
huge
both
difference.
priced at the same amount per square meter of bridge.
I just thought it can't be that.
So when I run the math on 24 meters long and 7.2 meters wide, I see the bridge to be 172 square meters. They're calling it 129.
Yeah, I just think the cost is,
I think
they've
got,
estimated way too low
I
on
think they
that,
measured wrong.
because it can't be that much of a difference from the Whitmire. It can't be.
When I run the numbers the way I think that bridge is measured, it would be a little over $2 million.
This Bateman here says 18, not
Oh.
24.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. So we'll probably have to, because there's two different spots that have measured the bridge differently.
Yeah.
I just don't, like, when we're applying for something, we don't wanna be shorted.
Well, it is strange that it's so much less.
Yeah, it just, to me, that bridge seems longer across.
When we had the other engineers out, they estimated the Bateman Bridge at $1.5 million. Because I kind of got away on me here, so for those that are watching the video, the Bateman Bridge, the estimate right now is 1.8 million
Yeah.
to replace it.
But the Whitmire is 4.286.
Yes, Whitmire Bridge is 4.2, and it is not that much bigger of a bridge.
No,
So discussions will need to go on about why there's a difference in them. The Thomas Bridge, which is the first bridge on the Roaring River after the mountain, it's estimated at $5.7 million to replace. And Ham's Bridge, which is the second bridge out of the mountain, that's the one we landed the helicopter on, is estimated at $7.2 million to replace. That includes the road work, because there's extensive road work to be done there. But in all of these, it's not just build a bridge, it's build a bridge higher and a little bit wider so that the debris gets under it and doesn't take out another bridge. Which is part of why they're gonna cost so much. These bridges are supposed to be 50 to 100 year bridges, depending on how they're maintained.
Well, a lot of the rivers, they're wider now. I mean, the river's just wider.
For sure.
Most of them. Well, that's quite a mess, eh?
We are expecting several more reports to come, but those are the first 4 that were received earlier today. Anything else on the bridge inspections?
Yeah, that Hambridge. He not looking good.
No, it's not long for this world. Workplace health and safety minutes, Q2 minutes are attached. I won't go through the whole list with you, but there's a list of all the things that are currently being looked into as health and safety related in the municipality, and updates on how they're going. We're expecting a visit from workplace health and safety any day, possibly as early as tomorrow morning, just to see how things are going.
That Brian guy?
Yep, Brian.
Right.
Yep. Brian, who always wants to see the Revy. Not much for correspondence. Let's go to committee reports. We'll start with Councillor Burick.
No committee reports, nothing. That airport commission, we still never had anything.
Supposed to have the 22nd, I got cancelled.
No, so it's still in the air and I don't know when.
Good thing it's not critical infrastructure.
Yeah, good thing, yeah. No committee reports for me.
Councillor Zbirun.
No committee reports.
Councillor Blosha.
No committee reports, but I did have some Health Foundation business because you still have to pay the bills there, even if you don't have a meeting. And got a nice message from a ratepayer about how nice the mowing was being done in Ward 4. We hired that out. And then also he did say, could you please mention to his grader operator about how well he kept the winter roads open for them, and that's in Ward 4. So I just wanted to make sure that got passed along, because it's not every day that we get those kind of compliments.
Yeah.
So I just want to make sure that that grader operator knows about that compliment.
Perfect. Councillor Neely.
No, nothing to report, same as Brian. Airport was cancelled, nothing else. Summertime, I guess, not much going on.
Councillor Kushniryk.
Just the LUD, which you can kind of see there, and that's about it.
Councillor McGregor.
Nothing to report. I do have something I noticed today when I was coming to the meeting in Benino near the splash park. Are we putting up just like those warning signs, kids playing? Might not be a bad idea.
I believe there's playground signs there.
Well, you know where the corner is, where the splash park is, even if we're from somewhere here and somewhere over here.
You mean kids, children
Yeah.
playing or something?
Well,
like
just
that?
they come ripping out of there pretty excited on their bikes and stuff, so it might not be a bad idea to look at that.
Okay.
I was watching them come ripping out of there and somebody kind of hit the brakes and I went, ooh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Anything else?
Nope.
I did some stuff.
Sit back and relax.
No one ever seems to want to know what. Today was working on that fire negotiation we were talking earlier on. We had that meeting with Derek yesterday. We spoke about that some. Lift station, I did some work out there obviously when they're having those troubles, checked on them a bit. We also had an HR matter in Benito, which we'll talk about in camera. Did some more bridges and flood checking and such. Also was called to a hayfield, where a grader chose to grade a hayfield. So I was out there I took the lead hand over there as well, to take a look at what had happened, and they were gonna have a little conversation with the grader operator. Spent some time with Dan Mazer. He was here, well, apparently 15th of July, according to this. So he came mostly to see how things were going. We showed him a bunch of pictures. We want to take a tour of the municipality in 59 minutes or less. So we just had to show him pictures, because it was really impossible to take him to any of the sites to show him how bad it was when we only had 59 minutes. We did Benito water meter billing. That's the highlights for those of you that like a short report. A few other things that haven't been mentioned elsewhere in the meeting. You'll see in that budget report, the taxes have now been added to the rolls. That was added earlier this week. The taxes are sitting right up there in those boxes in the tax statements. They've come. So they're now going to be folded, stuffed in envelopes, and mailed out to you in the next week or two.
No rush.
I got a lighter. Just joking.
No, go ahead.
You'll notice all of the Red Cross pails here. Those have been provided for people that need to clean houses or basements. Each one has a mop, a squeegee, some other stuff in it, some sponges, some gloves, some disinfectant. So we've been giving those out if you know anyone that is doing basement flood cleaning. You know, it doesn't matter how bad it was, if they're working on it, there's certainly pails and stuff they can take a pail home and use as they need. We still have a few of the other supplies left, but the demand is thankfully going down.
Somewhere Benito too.
Yes, Benito also has some of these things in their office. Samaritan's Purse cut off applications earlier today, so after 5 p.m. today you can no longer apply for a Samaritan's Purse or Team Rubicon assistance because they felt that everyone has applied already. They will complete all of the requests they had, so that work is still ongoing. I was talking to one of the Samaritan's Purse folks earlier today, which you may remember, Dave Johnston, or Johnson I should say, no T. He's here volunteering with them, so he's been helping some people out, even though he's from here originally, been away, but he's back just to do some flood stuff. On the Canada Day stuff, we're going to start promoting that a lot more in the next week or so, get people excited for it. I was out and did foam on the weekend at the Splash Park. That's getting a bit intense. We had about 150 people there on Saturday, between the kids and the adults. It's crazy to see the amount of people coming out. The playground is full, the Splash Park is full, the skateboards are just, there are kids everywhere. It's so nice to see Benito full of kids. So it's been kind of exciting when they all show up, and lots of them are from Swan River.
Well, it's so nice that the business uptown is open late, so that as late as our skate park, I believe, till 9, so that you can go get a snack.
So,
You know.
the only thing that I would like to do different there right now, and I don't know how y'all feel about it, but weigh in on it. I would like if we had a sign at the Splash Park that said, "Hey, do you know there's businesses there that are open late?"
Yeah, that would be
Just
nice.
to kind of
That would be nice to promote
Shush
it.
people down that way for, hey, you know, you could go buy a drink if you want to.
Yeah, that would be a good idea.
Would that bother
Ice cream or
anyone?
whatever,
Would that-
right?
Sorry?
Yeah,
Ice cream or
ice
whatever.
cream, yeah.
You know, like,
Yeah,
because people that aren't from there maybe don't realize what's a block away.
yeah.
It would be kind of nice if there was something there that said, hey, there's all these things you could go do while you're at Benito.
Should we do that, or should we ask those stores to give us a sign?
Well,
Yeah,
we could say to them, hey,
definitely.
we're okay with you putting one up.
Yeah.
You know, just make sure that, because they might be feeling like they can't come do that, but if we're okay with it, we can encourage them, hey, put something up.
No, I
Just
think
say,
it's a good idea because we have to, you have to keep it alive, so
Yeah.
the way to keep that business alive is to encourage business to it. And in the daytime, all the businesses are open, which is,
Tell you a funny story. So I went out to prove the staff wrong the other night. Because I thought, there's no way it could take 4 hours to water the flowers. It's got to be able to be done in less than 4 hours. So I hatched a plan. And I went out there about 9 o'clock at night, and I picked up the water tank, which hasn't been used all year for watering flowers because nobody's bothered to put it in a vehicle to move it around. So I picked it up. It's 56 gallons, so I just picked it up and put it in my truck. And I filled it with water, and I thought I had the world by the tail, and I started watering flowers. But my particular truck has, thanks to Mr. Kushniryk, one of those covers on it that you have to fold back. So when you fold the cover back, you can't actually close the tailgate while you have the water tank in the truck. So I had this great plan of how I was going to manage to do this in both record time and safely. And the record time was working out really well. It was about 20 minutes into watering the flowers, and I only had 2 buckets left. So if you've never hauled a tank of water, once it's not full anymore, it's a lot less stable than when it is full.
Came right out the back end.
Yep. Right on the highway.
You took off. You took off too quick.
I was so sure I had gone slow, but I guess the water sloshed a little bit, and it hit the front, and I heard it hit the front, and hit the front of the truck, and then when it hit the back of the tank, off it went, right into traffic.
That's just a small example of what water, the power of it.
Yes, power of water.
Yes. So then there I was on Highway 83, begging the traffic to go around with tank, while I tried to get the tank empty enough to move off the road.
500 pounds, you couldn't drag it around?
No.
Well, it wouldn't be 5 then.
So the only permanent damage was I broke off the one connector, so we had to replace the connector. But I'm here to tell you, if you didn't have one of those fold-up things in your truck, you could water those flowers in about 30 minutes and not destroy the tank doing it. But the tank did live, but
I know that first year when I did it, it'd be less than an hour filling the tank, putting it away, everything.
yeah. So we'll discuss further in camera why it's taking 4 hours to water the flowers now.
Maybe a little catting and all.
Or did you have a little, off that tank, you have a little motor or something, a little pump?
Well, see, so that what they did have, they used to have it mounted on one of the lawnmower things. And so it had a pallet in the tank and a motor, and they had to have a battery. It's 56 gallons, you can just pick it up and put it in a truck. And then gravity empties it just fine into a
Okay, so
bucket.
you-
So all I did was I had a tank and thing, open the thing, fill the bucket, dump it, go to the next one, do it. But I guess what we've been doing is we take one watering can and we go someplace and fill one watering can. And then we travel all the way to a flower bucket someplace in town and empty the watering can. And then we go all the way back to fill it again. Which might explain the 4 hours part. So that's being resolved now.
No tonneau cover on the truck.
Oh, I was mad at the things I said and the waving I was doing in the next vehicle. No, stop, you're not draining my tank. It's still okay, get around.
Nobody stopped to help you move
Of
it?
course not. I'm just lucky nobody stopped to film it. That's my big worry, is I'm gonna see someone with their phone filming this whole thing.
That'd have been almost as good as a parade.
Yeah.
All right, anything else before we take our break? We will take a short recess. When we come back, we'll go in camera. We have some personnel matters to discuss, some negotiations, all that stuff we referred to in camera earlier, and probably enforcements of an act of bylaw. I know we do, it's on the agenda. So give us 10 minutes or so, everyone can check the weather. It's probably still warm, and we'll be back.
Warm?
We'll go to 12.1. Be it resolved that pursuant to section 1523 of the Municipal Act, Council shall meet as a committee of the whole to close the meeting and continue discussions in camera regarding personnel matters, negotiations, preliminary discussions, unresolved legal matters, and investigation of enforcement of an act or bylaw. Is there someone to move the resolution? Councillor Neely, and I also saw Councillor Kushniryk to second it. Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll call the question. Those in favor? That's carried. Coming out of the in-camera session, giving direction to staff on a couple matters, including a summer student. We'll go to 12.4 or 13.4, depending on which version you're looking at tonight. Resolutions arising from in-camera. Were there any resolutions tonight? Hearing nothing, we'll move to the notice of motion. Does anyone have a notice of motion to present tonight? Still hearing nothing. Be it resolved, this meeting shall now adjourn at 9:39 p.m. Be it further resolved, the next meeting is Tuesday, August 11th, 2026 at 7 p.m. Who was first to move it?
Carrie.
And who was second? Byron?
No, Byron. He was eating his donut.
Hey, he's got his hand up there.
There it is.
Yeah. Those in favor?
Good riddance to both of them, eh?
Those in favor? That is carried. Thank you, everyone, for a good meeting.